So talk about switching gears. I'm going to tell you a little bit about a summer project that we did just recently to help us with a practical issue. So as a government-funded organisation, we're required to achieve certain levels of accessibility compliance. And in Australia, that means we have to comply to a level A compliance. I doubt whether any of our government agencies already do comply, but we commissioned a report to highlight the issues that we needed to tackle. And the primary issue that we found was that our images weren't accessible. They didn't have alternative text. And so we built a small website primarily for use by our staff internally to actually add text and descriptions to our images. And so we selected images that had no alt text whatsoever, and we ended up with about 35,000 images. So we built a small website. We called it Describe Me, and the idea is a three-step process for people to find images and to describe them and submit them back into our system. So Describe Me was built, as I say, as a summer project by one of our developers. He spent a week or so on it, and we had a designer add some nice design, and we ended up with a service that we can use for our business. So to pick an image, a random image is selected from the pool of images that are required to be described, and or you can actually search using the tags or a search function to find images that you're interested in. We ask folks to look at the image and describe what they see, not what the context of the image, but what they actually see in the image, which is useful to those folks who need this kind of description. And once they've done that, they simply fill out a small form, and the description goes straight back into our system and then is available for use on our website. So the image is presented out of the context of its object record, but we do supply some extra text context so that folks can understand what the image is of. So sometimes things are very obvious, but sometimes they're not obvious when they're details of an object or they're obscure parts of a group of things. So here you can see the simple form that someone needs to fill out to add a description, and then some of the associated data that they can draw from to help them with their task. You'll notice in this particular case the image description is described as asset, because that's just the default that comes from our collection management system. The tags and the search there also are helpful for the niche nerds who are interested in a particular type of content. We provide some examples because not everyone understands what we're looking for. We've actually had quite a lot of discussions with folks about the nature of alternative text and how long or short or descriptive or not it ought to be. We've settled in on about 3 to 7 words as being ideal. We do ask users to log in, or we offer them a login using a simple connection with social services, and that way we can add them to a leaderboard and we can hopefully get some idea of traction with competition. We show a progress bar of how we're going in our endeavour. Hopefully that a larger number of the pool won't grow too much more, because we're introducing processes now for alt text to become mandatory rather than optional. There's an approval process. We moderate all of the submissions because you can't trust everyone to do the right thing. Although having said that, I did a review of about 100 submissions recently, and only one of them needed to be rejected. And only 10 needed editing, so that's pretty good. We've been contacted by Vision Australia, who's a leading service provider to blind and low vision people in Australia, and they've put us in contact with some researchers in the University of York who are getting their master's students now to work with us to help us fine-tune the product, and also to produce a report on our endeavours. And our next step is to integrate it across not just our collections data, but also our content management system delivering our information websites. And so we'd like to hook that in and become as accessible as we possibly can. And so that's the project that I wanted to talk to you about. There's a link there. I'd like you to go and have a look if you can, and maybe describe some images. So thanks very much.